Brother Drake is the state first vice president of Democratic Black Caucus of Florida, the president of the Orange County Black Caucus. Brother Drake has helped revive the Black Caucus locally, growing from 12 members with one elected official to 120 members with 25 elected officials. With a passion for uplift and empowerment, Brother Drake is part of the African American Chamber of Commerce, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, where he was initiated the Alpha chapter and currently involved with the Chi chapter, where he was our past bossless. Urban League of Young Professionals, National Society of Black Engineers, National Society of Black Journalism, and Boy Scouts of America Whitney M. Young Council. As you can see, Brother Drake does not sit idle. In his spiritual life, Brother Drake is a devoted member of St. Mark, where he is active in the trustee board, usher board, praise team, and men's choir. With a basis in service, he practiced the concept of servant leadership in walk, talk, and deed. For the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. Last but not least, Brother Drake regards family to be first. He is one of 8 children, the father of a beautiful 12-year-old daughter, and an uncle to host of nieces and nephews. Without further delay, I introduce the son and present the others, Brother Russell Drake.
So there I was, Brother Mount. August 14th of 1998. I had just finished my summer job. 2 months before then, I just graduated high school. I went through all the ceremonial experiences, earned scholarships, got congratulatory letters, and I was 1 day away from being at Howard University. I was excited, I was eager, I was nervous. I'd never been away from home. Me being from the small city of Gary, Indiana, a home of Michael Jackson, a home of Janet Jackson, and oh yes, the home of Joe Jackson. So the next day, went to the airport with my whole family. Said bye to my 3 younger siblings, said bye to my mom. Only my dad traveled with me to Howard. I had 4 older siblings. They were already in college, 1 in undergrad and 3 in grad school. So I had to work my way through it. Got to Howard, it was my first time in DC, the nation's capital, big city. My dad stayed 1 day and then he looked at me and said, "I'm proud of you, son, you will do well." And he didn't know it, but I was so nervous on the inside, I was saying, "I hope so." And later that day, I went back to my room, I was unpacking, I was putting the sheets on my bed, the sheets that they recommend that you buy because they tell you the bed is too big, and that's a scheme, by the way. But I was putting them on the bed, and I thought to myself, I'm on my own, and it's all on me. So from that, I'd like to lift the theme for you, it is all on you. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls. Good afternoon to the parents who've provided the 80% of education through their motivation to these students to get these scholarships today. Good afternoon to the wives, spouses, and loved ones of Omegas who felt it not robbery to come out. Good afternoon to the children in the room, the children who are aspiring to get here one day. Also, if you're a spouse of somebody in Omega, please stand up. On behalf of Omega, I'd like to personally thank you for sharing your husband's time and talent with Omega. I know it seems like a lot, but we thank you for all you do in supporting them. Also, as a point of personal privilege, I'd like to highlight the lady of my life, Dr. Loretta Faye Paris. Please stand. Thank you. Dr. Harris is also the state president of the Florida Association of District Media and Instructional Material Administrators. So she's a powerful woman in herself. Also to the honorees, I want you to know you should be proud. You are one of the 84% of high school students across the nation who are graduating high school this year. In the state of Florida, you're one of the 88% who are graduating high school. Some of you are part of the 30% of students who will be going to college for the first generation in their family. Some may even be the first in their families to go to college. You're also part of the 68% of students across the nation who are going to college this year. So you should be proud of yourselves. Please give our honorees a round of applause. And as we give them a round of applause, and I want y'all to really tune in and listen to me, I want you to know from this day forward, it's all on you. It is yours. You got to own everything that's coming with this life that you've chosen. You know, Brother Dr. Gilmore, I watched a show called Grown-ish, right? It comes on, I watch it on Hulu. And Grown-ish kind of gives you these experiences of what goes on in a young person's lives in college. And it's a little different for me because, you know, I didn't have social media, none of that stuff in college, didn't have tablets, no iPhone, no cable. I didn't even have a room phone, no air conditioning, anything of the sort. So it's a little different. It keeps me in tune. But, you know, even though there are changes, a lot stays the same in the college environment. Whether it's 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago, or 10 years in the future, at the end of the day, to make it through college or university, it is all on you to get it done. So when I say it's all on you, it's on you to explore and develop your own manhood and womanhood. And when I say that, that's not meaning that you got to be 18 or older. That's meaning that you got to take responsibility for everything that happens with you from now forward. You got to own it. And you got to take responsibility for your class grades. You got to take responsibility for the friends you associate with. You have to take responsibility for the groups and or leadership activities you participate in, and you got to take responsibility for your own finances. So first and foremost, you got to take responsibility for your classes. That is the prime reason you're at the university or college that you're at. This is what got you here. This is what's getting you honored today because of your performance. That is the prime measuring rod that everybody looks at. How well is this person doing? What is their GPA? Are they doing well? So I know some of you are doing well. Some of you are straight A students. Some of you are straight B students. And some of you may not even be at that level just yet. There are no weighted classes in college. There's no curve that's going to bring you all the way up. But keep in mind this, that if you may not like every class that you get, but keep in mind, what is your alternative? What is my choice? You know, I found out throughout my career in college and everywhere else, part of getting a good grade is just showing up. Just showing up and getting there on time. I've been taught throughout life to be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be tardy. So it's best that you be early when you get to these classes. It's best that you, like a conditioned athlete who trains all the time, that you train your mind all the time in studying, and you work to get ahead. You want to be the best in that class. You don't want to be seen as lackadaisical by any means. And if you don't like the class because there's some professor that's after you and wants to fail everybody, because they really are out there like that, that's not, you know what, that's what everybody's dealing with, and you're just facing what other men or women have met. But when you're facing that, you still got to remember that that's just because of my character and my enthusiasm that I display, that's going to get me through this class. You see, Brother Armstrong, I've also been taught in life that enthusiasm is like a catalyst. When mixed with wisdom and encourage, it can create small miracles. If you want to turn your hours into minutes, renew your enthusiasm. So show enthusiasm in those classes, and I promise you, you'll come out with some good grades, and your parents will be pleased. Also, so moving on to the next thing, friends. See, it's on you to own the friends that you put around you. You know, some would say, watch the company you keep. Others would say, birds of a feather flock together. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that this is a friendship fraternity that's giving out these scholarships today, with our motto being friendship is essential to the soul. So I have to tell you, always extend their hand to the next woman or man. Now you got to watch them and see, you know, how these friendships go. You know, you have friends that are going to dwell together based on your major, based on your dorms, based on your interests, people that went to college straight from high school. And, you know, sometimes you meet under the most unique of circumstances, but in time they become some of your best friends. Amen. And many people in the room can testify that some folks we started college with are our best friends. Our friends that we talk with every day. We don't just chat with them on social media because we prior to the social media age. We talk with them on the phone. We don't just text with them and text a picture, but we call to make sure they're all right. And you want to make sure that you got a good circle around you. And you may find that you outgrow some friends over time because not everybody's going in the same direction. Not everybody will be able to handle, because all our recipients in the room, you're going to do great. Not everybody's going to be able to handle your greatness. People are going to try to block and say, why don't you come here? Why don't you do this? And sometimes you just got to distance yourself. Yes. Again, your primary focus is in that classroom. But you do need friends around you to push you up. You need friends to motivate you and elevate you. And if you're a strong friend, don't sit by while somebody is bullying one of your friends. You need to pull them out of them circles and push them up too. So needless to say, moving on to the next thing, groups, organizations, and leadership. You got to own the groups that you're a part of. There are so many groups that you could be a part of on a university setting. And I'll be completely honest with you. When I set foot on Howard University, my mentor was a man of Omega, and I told him that day I wanted to be a Q. Now, I didn't know it would take me 4 years until I crossed, but I told him I wanted to be a Q. And to be quite honest, I probably wasn't ready to be a Q at the time, but I found some other groups that were great for me. I'm an engineer by trade. I'm a mathematician on the side. So I joined the National Society of Black Engineers, great group. I joined the Institute of Electronic Engineers. It was a good fit for me. I did go on and cross Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated at Howard University. But before then, I joined an honor fraternity called Phi Sigma Pi National Honor Fraternity Incorporated. And it was one of the best groups I ever joined. They had a focus on scholarship. So I was able to be around other people who were scholars, who wanted to do well, and I would say 80% of them went on to grad school after the university. But with this group, they taught me something called a little story. And in a little story, what it pretty much told me is that you can't do anything you can't expect anything out of anyone without expecting stuff out of yourself. And let me go through it, a little story. So this is a little story about 4 people named everybody, anybody, somebody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done. Everybody figured that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Wow. Somebody got mad about that because it was everybody's job to do it. Everybody knew that somebody could have done it, but nobody figured that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody because nobody did what anybody could have done. And I say that to say, I've been a leader in every organization I've been a part of. I've been a leader in student government. I had the honor of leading this chapter in Omega. At the state level, I serve on the state committee with Omega. I just finished 4 years leading your Black Caucus in Orange County, and I'm the vice chair of the statewide Black Caucus. And in everything I do, I cannot expect excellence out of anybody if I don't expect it out of myself and display it. Go ahead. I can't not practice what I preach. I can't tell somebody do as I say and not as I do. That's just not what we do. And I think we got a room full of future leaders in the room. Future leaders, and you don't even have to have a title to be a leader because there's such thing as leading from the back. You can push things forward. You just have to have the leadership acumen, and you have to believe in yourself and have enough self-confidence to push your ideas forward. You also got to be humble. You got to be patient. You got to be good at instilling enthusiasm and encouragement in others. Everybody's got leadership potential and capabilities within them. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. You're right here because you're leaders already. And in leading, you don't want to end up like anybody, everybody, nobody, and somebody. You need to worry about your body setting the tone. And when your body sets the tone, other people will push you up. Other people will see it in you. I've never run for anything that anybody didn't tell me they believed I could do. And when they pushed me up to do it, I found enough will within myself to say, I'm going to do it. And believe it or not, on occasion, I may miss the mark and fail on the first try or second try. And you may fail 9 times, but as long as you get up 10, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Right. So leadership is a must. Leadership is a big thing, and you got the ability to do it. To our 10 scholars in the room. Yes. Last thing but not least, it's on you with your finances. Many of you are going off and you're going to be on your own and you're going to get a spending limit and you're going to max out the limit. You're just going to max out the limit. It happens. You're going to hit ground zero. You're going to bank zero. And to be honest, some of the best friends I made were the friends who were struggling trying to put money together to get pizza while in college because we didn't have it. See, their friendships were built through a lot of struggle. Struggling in the classroom, struggling with finances, struggling at homecoming time because we had a test and we didn't know what we were doing on the test, struggling in the lab, but that's how friendships are really made. But with those finances, you got to manage your finances. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to set a budget. Many of you got the budgeting elements around you from your families, but you need to know the difference between the asset and the liability. I know it's in style to get shoes and get clothes, but over time, that goes down in value. That means it's a liability. You need more assets in your life. Assets are things that you get and they increase over time. When they increase over time, things like paintings increase over time. Things like houses increase over time. Things like cars, people can get that fancy car right now, but as soon as they drive it off the lot, it goes down in value. You know, so I hope none of y'all getting cars just to go to college, please don't. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell everybody, do not sign up for those credit cards that are waiting there when you get to the door of college. They're waiting there all the time. They make me sick, and I wish they could ban them from every university. Because that right there, I want you to hear me, that right there, that puts people in debt almost for the rest of their lives. There are people right now that have been out of school for over 20 years, and they're still in debt from some of those credit cards they signed up for in college. You know, we don't want you to go through any of it. Many of us have made mistakes, and please learn from the mistakes that others have made. And some people may not tell you about it, but there's folks in this room that's doing really well that know they was in some debt through them credit cards. And I'm not afraid to tell you, I was bad. I was bad in debt. You know, I was walking around buying everything till they sent me that note, and I was like, I'm gonna pay back this $4,000. You know, I ain't working. You know? But also with that, with those finances, be sure you have to know the university is all financial too. From henceforth, everything that you learn, you're going to be paying for. Every hour, every year, every semester, you are paying for that. Whether it comes from a scholarship, whether it comes from your parents, it's getting paid for. So if you waste it, then you've wasted an investment. See, that college degree, yeah, that's an asset. And how big an asset is it? From what Brother Hill paid for college is different from what I paid for college. It was just a few years apart, you know? And then from what Dr. Gilmore paid for college is a little different than from what Dr. Williams paid for college. So if every year that education goes up and up and up, that means it's of higher value. There's fewer people with these degrees. And when you get those degrees and you utilize them and you apply them, then you can do great things. You know, see, oftentimes people say knowledge is power, but that's only half true. Knowledge is power to those who apply it. So you got to apply these degrees. Those folks that went through the degree program and got a degree in engineering. Those people that got some of the hardest degrees that went through med school and went through law school. You got to apply these degrees and maximize them. Get the most out of them that you can. And then after that, sit back and write a book and become a millionaire. Trust me. Yeah. But you got to find your own scholarships if you can. See, I entered Howard on a partial scholarship. I worked that summer so I could have some money for meal plans and a little extra money. But then after that, I worked to find scholarships. I had to become a resident assistant because they were paying for your housing after that. I got a scholarship from General Motors just for having a really good GPA. I worked to get more scholarships. Every year after that, I made a way to pay for my own education. Again, I had 4 other siblings in college, and after 2 years, my younger brother was coming to college. So we had the whole family. At one point, there were 7 kids in my family in college at the same time. So it gets a little tight around the household. I don't care how well the house is going. It'll get a little tight around there. And, you know, some people get cut off, and, you know, it just happened like that. You know, I guess they expected a lot out of me, what can I say? But it all worked out in the end, you know. So again, you're managing your financing, and the financing is important. See, earlier I went over the good stats about the stats to your ear, but let me go over the real tough stats, right? So 55% of people in their first year of college are going to drop out. 55% are going to say bye. Now, some of them will come back, but 20% of people that enter college with you are not going to come back at all. That's 1/5 that are going. Furthermore, only less than 40% are going to finish college in 4 years. Yeah, less than 40%. Less than 60% are going to finish college in 6 years. There are people that are still working at what we call career students who are trying to complete their degrees after 15 and 20 years. This is real life stuff that happens. So while the movie Endgame is out for the Avengers, right? No, this is not the end game for you. It's not the end game. It's all on you to determine when your end is. You're about to maximize everything right now. You know, you're getting a word right now, and I know nobody's taking notes. I know y'all got it all in y'all mind because y'all are oh so brilliant, but we're live feeding it right here, and thank you, my man. I'll tip you after this. But it's all on you. You got to see it through, right? You got to see it through. If you look on the back of your program, there's actually a quote by Benjamin Franklin that reads, "If a man empties his purse into his head, no man can take it away from him. An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest." It's telling you your education is invaluable. It's telling you that that is the asset, that is the most important asset that you have. The late civil rights activist Malcolm X said, "The way out of poverty is through education." But I don't think people understood. Many people aren't just in poverty financially, they're in poverty in the mind. So the way out is through education. Nobody can take that away from you, and the application of it is infinite. The application of it takes you to infinity. And while you may be brilliant, while you may be smart, while you may be doing good, everybody tells you you're great, you got to keep some humility about you. Because see, success is only successful without successors. Well, I'm up here 21 years since I finished high school. I expect many of you to be up here in a position like this way sooner than that. I expect you to outlast me and outlast your parents and do great things. You're getting the tools, it's all put around you. It's all on you. So all you got to do is see it through. We have an ideology within Omega, there's a poem called See It Through. And it goes like this. When you're up against a trouble, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, set your feet, and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, skip in class because you might fail that test. Do the best that you can do. Running from it will not save you, see it through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim. But don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. Go to the gym. If the worst is bound to happen, in spite of all what you can do, running from it will not save you, see it through. Even hope may seem but futile. With the troubles you're beset. But remember, you are meeting just what other men and women have met. You may fail, but fall still fighting. Don't give up, whatever you do. Eyes front, head high to the finish. See it through. See it through. It's all on you. See it through, young Mr. Montgomery, as you're going up to Western Kentucky University. See it through, young Mr. Robinson, because you're going over there to UCF. See it through, other Mr. Robinson, because you're still at FAMU and you got to finish the job. See it through, Dr. Gilmore just saw it through to get his doctorate degree. And see it through in other endeavors. I'm seeing it through because I just lost 65 pounds in 2 years and I still got more weight to lose. So I'm still going through as I see it through because it's all on you. It's on you, it's on you, it's on you, it's on you, and it's on you. For everybody, it's on you. Know that today, there's no other excuses. There's nobody to blame. You got to own it yourself. Thank you for your time. Thank you, brothers, for bringing me out. And God bless you all.
Thank you. Gary.